Good morrow, fair ones. At this portentous hour in the fair city of Verona, our paths doth cross to consort and share secrets of a most scandalous nature. And who am I? I am Bianca Segreto, your very own insider to all of the happenings in Verona. If you have secrets here, I find them out. I'm the latest and greatest source of gossip in this city, and I love a good romance. Don't you? As everyone in Verona knows, Romeo has been completely stuck on Rosalind, who is so not into him. But I heard that Romeo, who's a Montague, by the way, attended the Capulet's party and saw Juliet. You guys, he is over Rosalind immediately. Suddenly, he is head over heels for this Capulet girl. Can you believe? You didn't hear it from me, but I got some insider info from a very connected nurse in the Capulet house. She heard their first conversation, and let me tell you, they love an extended metaphor. Let's get into today's lesson, and I'll clue you in on all of the details. Okay, I know that you're not just here for the gossip. In today's video, I'll also be teaching you all about extended metaphors, and you'll be completing some extra practice. Make sure you stick around for a sizzling sneak peek of what's coming up this week. I won't leave a single rumor out. Now, let's get to more of my insider knowledge. Do you remember what a metaphor is? That's right. A metaphor is a type of figurative language in which an implied comparison is made between two unlike entities. In a metaphor, a person, place, thing, or action is referenced by a word or phrase that represents it figuratively, not literally. Can you think of any metaphors that you've encountered so far in this drama? Did you hear about that awful brawl in the streets between the Capulets and the Montagues? Well, Prince Aeschylus didn't like it one bit. He said, "You men, you beasts," when stopping the fight. He's comparing the fighting men to wild animals. This is just a simple metaphor, but if you continue referencing this comparison, you create something new. An extended metaphor, sometimes called a conceit, is a type of metaphor that is developed over the course of multiple lines of text. An entire poem or speech may be devoted to the development of such a metaphor, building the comparison from many angles and with elaborate details. You know, I love the details. One time, I wrote this poem with an extended metaphor that was so golden, it went something like this. In the bustling market of Verona, I am a jeweler. Each whisper is a glittering gemstone. I carefully set these sparkling stones into the gold of my tales, each more radiant than the last. Under my touch, secrets transform into an exquisite tiara dazzling the eye. Each secret I unveil adds another diamond to the crown. Oh, what did you think? So good, right? Did you see any metaphors or details that were connected? Okay, let's get to the intel I've got for you. I'm about to share some of my info about the conversation between Romeo and Juliet. So, as I share what I know, see if you can spot the extended metaphor. Look for a comparison and a continuation of details. So, I was told that Romeo said this. If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this: my lips to blushing pilgrims ready stand, to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss. Romeo is comparing himself to a sinner who is on a pilgrimage or journey to cleanse his sin. Juliet is the holy shrine he's visiting, but I heard he kept going. He went on to say, "Oh then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair." Did you hear that? He is asking her for a kiss. Let lips do what hands do. Pray? Wow, I am almost speechless. Almost. Ooh, anyways, back to extended metaphors. Let's take a moment to analyze how we can identify Romeo's extended metaphor. First, we noticed his initial comparison of Juliet to a holy shrine and his lips to pilgrims. This wasn't just a simple metaphor, he expanded upon it, building the comparison with more religious words like sin, saint, prayer, and faith. That's how we spot an extended metaphor. It starts with a basic comparison and then gets stretched out with additional related images, adding layers and details. Now that we've unraveled Romeo's poetic words, let's shift our gaze to another conversation that happened earlier in Verona. This time, we peek into the Capulet household, where Lady Capulet paints her own picture with words when trying to talk Juliet into marrying Paris. Pay close attention to how she, too, creates an extended metaphor. See if you can recognize words that are connected and present a figurative meaning. Read o'er the volume of young Paris' face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. Examine every married lineament, and see how one another lends content. And what obscured in this fair volume lies, find written in the margent of his eyes. This precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. What two entities is Lady Capulet comparing in her speech to Juliet? What words have connections here? Just like we did with Romeo's lines, let's break this down. Lady Capulet is using the metaphor of a book to describe Paris. She says to read o'er the volume of his face. A volume meaning a book. Think about how she extends this metaphor. Which words connect to books? She doesn't only compare his face to a book, but also mentions the lines written with beauty's pen and even refers to his eyes as the margent or margin. Notice how she keeps adding to the book metaphor, calling him an unbound lover. Lady Capulet uses this extended metaphor to not only describe Paris's physical appearance, but also to suggest the wealth of qualities and virtues that he possesses, much like a really interesting book. This metaphor serves to entice Juliet, presenting Paris as an appealing and worthy match, while also demonstrating the persuasive power of language in shaping our perceptions of others. However, after that party, I think that Paris is probably the last person in Verona that Juliet is thinking about. As the drama unfolds this week, you are tasked with gaining some additional intel for me. You're going to learn more about extended metaphors and the time period. You'll need to learn about soliloquies, and you'll be writing a metaphor analysis. At the end of the week, you'll be creating a graphic retelling of what's happened so far. So keep a good record of every juicy detail. Speaking of, I heard that after Romeo and Juliet kissed, Romeo completely disappeared from the Capulet party. No one knows where he went, but I am doing what I do best and making sure that I find out. Until next time, be on the lookout for secret romance, and remember to always be clever.
Hey, hey.